on 92.3 Nigeria Info. And I feel like saying happy cool day. Right? The weather is no longer as it used to be. Perhaps we have now been ushered into the rainy season. Well, let's see what happens by tomorrow. Someone was telling me yesterday that she's observed that whenever it rains in Port Harcourt at a particular time of the day, just get ready. The very next day, it's going to rain at the same time or just within the same time. And she was like, that's something she's observed for a while now. And that's what I think actually happened yesterday. Day before yesterday, it rained at about between that 2-3 p.m. And that was the same thing that happened yesterday. Oh well. Thank God for the weather. And it's such a cool day to have conversations that will not break your heart. Although one of my big stories, sounds like a heartbreaking story for a lot of people. Okay? Well, my name is Constance Mega. And on Hard Facts today, we have big stories coming up. And after big stories, we'll talk about social justice, championing social justice in Nigeria. But I'm more interested in the preparedness of Nigerian youths to actually championing social justice in Nigeria. There's a lot of activism here and there, some on social media, some physically. But then, are we doing it the right way? What are those things that the youths are missing out? That's, not making the kind of activism they're involved in to yield tangible and perhaps sustainable results. All right? So we'll be having that conversation, and I'm looking to have a civil rights activist join me for that one. And then that's going to take us till about 5 o'clock when we get to when we get to hear the news update. And after the news update, we'll get to have a conversation. This time around, it's going to be about business. All right. There's been this back and forth about the dollar rate to the naira. It's been going up, especially at the black market. And then just yesterday, we heard that Bureau de Change operators in Port Harcourt were arrested. Yeah, a good number of them. Police, EFCC, they came in their vans and actually picked them up. All right, so hopefully we're going to have an economist join us for that conversation to help us understand how the operations of Bureau de Change affects the dollar to naira rate. And there's also the speculations, or should I say rumors, that there are some kind of collaborations with some banks or with the banks, with these guys to hoard the dollar, make sure they're the only ones who are getting it. So we'll also have that conversation, talk about all of that. All right, so I'm also seeing in our news that we have an update on the whole story about Bureau de Change operators, and some of them saying how things happened, how they were arrested, and what actually really happened to them. I'm really hoping that before that time, we will have the sound bites ready so that we'll hear them speak. Because I hear that the chairman of Bureau de Change operators in Port Harcourt was part of those arrested, about 150 of them arrested. So we'll have that conversation as our last conversation for today. And then 6 o'clock, the major news will come your way, after which we'll be back here on Open Season, or with Open Season, so that you can react to any of the conversations or discussions that you were not able to partake in. All right? So once again, welcome aboard. So let's take a look at the big stories. And before we do that, just a very quick break. I'll be back. So before I go back to, or I start with the big stories, I just remembered something. I just saw the story on our Facebook page, and then it reminded me that something like that is happening right now. There's some kind of outbreak of Lassa fever, and about 4 cases have been confirmed so far in the states. And of course, the Rivers State Ministry of Health has given an advisory saying if you have any form of fever that has lasted for a while, you should present yourself to a hospital, all right, to ensure that you are fine. Don't get into trouble and don't carry trouble around, all right? So if you're not feeling fine, go to the hospital. This is not the time to say, I know my body. Don't do that. Don't self-medicate at this time, please. All right, thank you. So moving on now to the big stories. All right, so I'll just start with one and then we're going to commercial break. All right, this one here, TUC withdraws from protest with NLC. TUC withdraws from protest with NLC. Well, this is my version of the headline, but I don't think that's what I have on Facebook, but it's basically the same thing. All right, I'll be back after this break. Do stay tuned.
I do the same thing I told you that I never would. I told you I changed even when I knew
Okay, so the big story that I was reading out. TUC pulls out of NLC's 2-day nationwide protest. The Guardian has that story. TUC pulls out of NLC's 2-day nationwide protest. So the Trade Union Congress says its decision to pull out of the planned protest with the Nigeria Labour Congress was because it was not carried along before they declared a 2-day nationwide industrial action. TUC Secretary General Nuhu Toru said this in a letter to the NLC leadership announcing their decision to pull out of the protest. Well, the TUC said both unions ought to meet and agree on the next line of action after the expiration of the 14-day ultimatum to the federal government. This is amazing. Well, I'm sure you remember that the protest was against the high cost of living, inflation and other things. Well, let's go on that commercial break and I'll be right back.
Are you into business and sales or offer some sort of service? Looking to connect with the public and potential clients? Then visit the
Remember, you can drop your comments on Facebook. We're live on Facebook, on X as well. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, that's for Facebook, and Nigeria Info FM _PH for Instagram. Nigeria Info PH on X and on YouTube as well. Okay, TUC pulls out of NLC's 2-day nationwide protest. The Guardian has that story, and I already read it out to you. Hardship. Lagos civil servants to work from office 3 days a week, says Sanwo-Olu. Channels Television has that story on their website. Now, as Nigerians lament the high cost of living crisis in the country, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has said that Lagos State civil servants from level 1 to 14 will come to work physically 3 times a week and work virtually for the 2 other days to ease economic pressure in the state. Well, he said this during a media chat today, and he also announced a 25% reduction on all public transportation in the state. So I brought this up here as one of the big stories, to more like remind us that once upon a time, last year, this was all over the country. It was a thing, right? And this is a new year. This is just barely the second month, about to finish. And the same story once again. Work from home for a couple of days. Virtual work. 25% reduction on all public transportation. Last year, we had some of them offering free transportation schemes. Including the River State government. And that scheme is still on. The palliative buses, they're still out there. And there's yet another level of hardship that has hit Nigerians. All right. Senate rejects electricity tariff hike, probes 2 trillion naira subsidy. The Punch has that story. Well, this story actually broke yesterday evening, where the Senate kicked against plans by the Ministry of Power to approve the proposed hikes in electricity tariff by distribution companies. Now, the Senate also rejected plans to remove electricity subsidy given the present hardships in the country. And then they called on the government to step down the idea of an increase in electricity tariff. Now, they didn't stop there. The upper chamber also directed the Committee on Power to investigate the 2 trillion naira required for electricity subsidy payment, other debts owed in the sector, and the state of metering in the country. So many things they're looking out for. Remember also there's this indebtedness of the country's power sector to electricity generating companies and gas companies. It was the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, who made mention of that last week, I think Wednesday or so, during a press conference in Abuja. And he said the amount of money Nigeria, or should I say the federal government, owes electricity generating companies, the GENCOs, and gas companies had risen to over 3 trillion naira. And sometime, was it earlier this week, there were some kind of documents flying around online indicating that some federal ministries, including the Ministry of Power, owed the generating companies. And they were threatening to cut off power from their ministries. And that's amazing. All right, the last one now. And quite a sad story, though. River State Police Command confirmed killing of operative in Eliozu in Obio. Now, the story has it that the River State Police Command has confirmed an attack on its operatives conducting stop and search at the Eliozu flyover in Obio local government area by hoodlums, and this happened last night. The public relations officer of the command, SP Grace Iringe Koko, tells our correspondent that a police hit resulting in the death of one of the hoodlums. As she says, they are investigating. If the people who ought to be protecting us are being attacked, how do you expect them to do their jobs? And some other person might ask, what then is the fate of the ordinary Nigerian? If those who are expected to perhaps be properly armed, to protect themselves against this kind of things, come under this kind of attack. Eliozu flyover area is not it's not a volatile area. It's not one of those places where you would say it's a bush, like when you're talking about the is it the Calabari Road now, where some form of kidnappings have happened in the past. So it's not like one of those areas, right? Quite shocking though. All right, it's your turn. Let's hear from you. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0002, and 0817-923-0033. 0817-923-0003 and 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0007. Now, not forgetting, we also have WhatsApp messages, WhatsApp line, so you can send your WhatsApp messages to that number 0809-030-6416. I have Robin calling from Eche. Welcome to Hard Facts, Robin.
Yes, thank you very much, Costa and Mega. Let me react on the killing of police operative last night at Eliozu. Firstly, I condole with the management of Nigerian police and immediate family of the officer. The constance I'm worried, like I was saying, that area is not like as if it is bush area, like the Calabare, that road. Constance, can you recall that the last election, the besieging of INEC office in Aba Road, there was a viral video that showed a Sina vehicle wherein assault rifles were being pulled out of that vehicle. Can you recall? Can you remember?
I'm listening.
Good and fine. Nobody was arrested. That is in the city. In the city. And again, I want to remind us, and those who are listening to my voice, including the Nigerian police, and mostly the political class, some weeks back, an AIG, Abuto Yero, was on interview in one of your sister stations, if it's not even your station. And he made a startling, shocking thing that some of us already know. He said some years back, there was a security architecture that were put in place in River State. From any part of other states you come in, you'll be detected through the formation of the C4I. Where is that system? There is a River State son, a retired director of DFS, has given us an interview on your station or station. I've also watched him on channel television. From US, he told us he had given a proposal to secure the state through. It's very cheap. So what is happening? For the state to be secured is in the hand of the politicians. Because those who carry guns are the deviants, whom some of them always like to use. It's very unfortunate.
All right, thank you, Robin, for calling. Hello, Real Gift from PH Town. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, my lady.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you for bringing me on board. My lady, let me talk about the issue in Lagos State. Work 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. Please don't be offended. No, my lady. The 2 days at home, now we go pay for the internet facilities or service. Is it still the government that will pay or not the individual? Please.
I don't know.
Because they should check this thing sometimes. If I have to work, let's say from 8 to 4, how much, and I have to be online all through these hours, I beg not be offended. If he calculate to know how much data he will collect. Is it possible that in some cases, some of these workers, the money they will pay from house to their workplace might not be up to what they will spend working at home? Well, for me, I think they should go beyond this issue. Each time comes, of the hardship, for goodness sake, and they should tackle it from there. Please. Coming back to River State, it's really unfortunate. I say let the soul of the police officer lost his life last night. Rest in peace. My lady, I see this as a necessary evil. As far as I'm concerned, don't ask me about the details. But off air, I can explain that to you. The thing is this. They said stop and search. Is the police really telling us the truth that indeed it was a stop and search, or you understand now, my lady?
I don't understand though. Real Gift. Thank you for calling. Hello, I am Braid from My One. Go on, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Go on.
Yes, let me react on the police officers that were killed. But the police officers should please, they should watch their back. A lot of things could happen, and that it will not be a good one. And when they are stop and search, it should be the other side. I work 3 days and in the house, and the rig is out. Who is going to pay for the internet? It's for me. I don't understand. Let and make things to happen in this country.
Hello, Edward from Iwofe. Edward, welcome.
Yes, good day. My name is Edward Martins. I'm calling from Iwofe.
Go ahead, Edward.
I'm concerned about the treatment of Bureau de Change dealers, the arrest of Bureau de Change dealers.
We'll have that conversation later. It's not part of my big stories.
Really? I thought it was part of it.
No. I was just giving you a rundown of the conversation I'll be having later on. That conversation is for 5 o'clock.
It's okay.
All right. Thank you for calling. All right. You can also send messages via WhatsApp to 086416. Hello, to Zion from GRA. Go on, please.
Good afternoon, Constance.
Good afternoon, sir.
This issue of killing the police and so on, I don't like this kind of news. It makes us too prematurely so less in nature. Growing up as a child, I don't think I think news was on the tablets. This man has been killed. Innocent people killed. No, it's not something like that. You see what is going on now? These were the seed of corruption we sowed when we embraced this particular democracy from 1999. Until we go back and review the Constitution, this 1999 Constitution, I'm asking, who spearheaded it? Who gave the impetus for this 1999 Constitution that is causing me problem? I don't know about others, but me. Just imagine, after motivating my children, telling them about the power of the police, the responsibility of the police, the integrity of being a policeman, what you control and what you command as a law enforcer. Somebody killed you. The children will ask that, how did they kill them? What happened? These things are traumatizing and we don't know all this. Our children, when they hear this news, they get traumatized. Sometimes you look like liars. Just like they define what is democracy. Do you know that the definition they gave me in school and the definition today in Nigeria are two different things? It's no longer a government of the people. Let's be honest. Now, for the work scheduled to 3 days a week, I think every organization needs to adopt it.
Okay.
Times have changed.
All right.
So we too must also need to approach to ameliorate the pain of this era in Nigeria, Mr. Zion.
Thank you, Mr. Zion. Hello, Frank from D-Line. Go on, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Let me react on the TUC with all their plans of plan protest. It's not a good one. The reason of TUC is not a cogent reason because the hardship now is fighting harder for everybody, not only NSC. NSC, they are trying to tell government what to do, and they're supposed to join these people. I don't know what has happened for them to withdraw for a protest plan. But if that is their own reason, well, let them carry on, but NSC will do the protest, and I believe at the end of the day, federal government will listen to them and do something tangible. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for calling. Obinna from Iriebe. Welcome, please.
Yes. Constance, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
You see, the policy of the Lagos State government to give their workers 3 days out of 5. I think that is a welcome development with the current high cost of transportation. If you leave office in the morning and you get to work, the least food you can buy that can be manageable is not less than 1,000 naira.
Transportation is high. Everything is high. Going to work every day, I think it is not a welcome development. Even I myself that is talking to you under special arrangement, I have arranged to be going to office 3 times in a week. Because if you insist on going to office 5 times in a week, your salary have not been increased. Even the palliative, the federal government, they are going to pay. Just recently that they cleared the arrears. So when you put all these things together, my sister, I think that the decision of the Lagos State government to give workers 3 times out of 5 is a welcome development. So I am calling on other state governments to follow suit.
All right, thank you. And so from Diobu. Oh, apologies. Hello, JAJ. You're up now. Welcome.
Good evening, my sister.
Good afternoon, sir.
They used to say God bless you. Killing of policemen around the Eliozu area. When I saw the news before, I thought it was just a rumor and all those, but I say may their soul rest in peace. And I want to tell the CP, Olatunji Disu, that I should go after those people. Maybe they would have collected their weapon too and see what he can do to them. Like Putin will say, that his own work is to send people to God, and it is the duty of God to forgive them. I won't say more than that. But this working for 3 days in a week, Constant, there are things we miss when we bring out some policies. You are not saying they should work virtual for 2 days. What about teachers? The children, do they have computer or laptop or stuff that they will now want the teacher to teach them virtually? Because why I'm saying this is, it happened right here in River State under the previous administration, where they said level 1 to 12 should stay at home for a certain period during the COVID. But the teachers were still going to school. No special allowance was given to them. Constance, can you pick that? And conclusively, my sister, the TUC and NLC, TUC say they are not part of it. But they were part of those who did joint press conference and said they are giving the federal government 14 days. So they don't know what they would have done after 14 days. My brother, some people don't sell out. And my sister, some people don't sell out. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for calling, JJ. Hello, Ifeanyi from Rumosi.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Constance.
Good afternoon, sir. Go on, please.
Okay, I think I have few questions to the Lagos State government. They said from level 1 to level 14, or everybody under the employer of the state government. Okay, so let's see. I want to understand how it works. We also have teachers who are under the employer of the state government. So teachers don't go to school from 1 day, only 3 times a week. So invariably, state schools have gone down to 3 times a week. Okay, if you go to some ministries, state ministries, there are people who do physical work, medicine. I think the job of the people is to ask questions on how they don't just come and make bogus statements and people take it as it's meaningful. Each ministry in state, in any state idea,
Ifeanyi,
have the capacity.
Your line is breaking now, so I'm going to have to let you go. Apologies for that. Perhaps you could call back or maybe send me a message. All right. So I'm looking at what the Lagos State governor said. So he actually said that they would ensure that the public offices are open. Like, we're not going to shut down the office at some time or some day of the week because people are, doing the remote work or whatever. So he says they'll have a calendar that ensures that people are actually in the office for the entire 5 days of the week or so. All right. So that's it. He says level 15 to 17 will miss work just a day. Then the other ones, 1 to 14, will miss work 2 days. So that's it. They want to just make sure that the offices are running. But then, let's just reduce the pressure on the people. Let's reduce the number of cars on the roads. let's reduce the pressure on the work environments. That's part of what he said. All right. Well, let's get back to, okay, before I go back to the phone lines, is anybody here? All right. Before you come up, hello, Constance. Good afternoon. TUC pulling out of the scheduled NLC protest is not and can't be a surprise to me, because that's what you can get when those that are supposed to hold government accountable join hands with them to suffer the citizens. I bet you NLC... What did I click? I bet you NLC will join them too very soon. Nothing will come out. Let them continue to jeopardize... What? What do you mean by jeopardize with your patience? I mean like they should play with your patience or something. Anyway, the Senate shouldn't accept the hike in electricity tariff. It's unfair. What NEPA is doing to us in this country. They are heartless. Kelechi Ibiam from Ada George. Kelechi, you still call them NEPA? I've heard some people say whatever name they like, let them bear. It's still NEPA. Good afternoon. TUC pulling out from the planned protest with NLC is a handiwork of federal government to disorganize the movement. We're the problem of ourselves. Kelechi Onwubiko, that's your name. Good afternoon, Madam Constance. It is very obvious that the labor unions in Nigeria have been infiltrated by politicians, hence the division we see amongst them. So I am not surprised by the decision of the TUC. But I want to ask, what has protest ever solved in this country? Instead, the government over the years have turned deaf ears to the plights of Nigerians. So I will advise NLC to suspend the planned protest and down tools instead. Simply goodness from Abamaika in Abia State. And then Papi from Port Harcourt says the attack on the officers. Okay. I see your message. But I do hope that you know that what you said is totally unfair. The attack on the police officers is in Port Harcourt is a very bad development. Fidelis Elemowa from Chokocho Eche. Matthew Ebube Jonathan from Ikodi Engene. If the security agents who are equipped to protect themselves or protect the vulnerable are attacked and killed while on duty, what's the fate of the common man? I want to say that these security agencies should be well equipped and again undergo more trainings on self-protection. The Commission of Police should sit up. When hoodlums kill and go free, it gives others the impetus to do more. Two Baba killed a whole high-ranked policeman in Aoda, and over the months, no tangible news was heard. I pray that God will see us through. Good afternoon, Constance Mega. Okay. Please, I want to ask, who breeds these hoodlums? Because I remember during NSAS protests, videos went viral where we saw government SUV carrying these hoodlums with the guns, bearing these hoodlums with guns. All right. You said last week at Eche, hoodlums also disrupted the Thanksgiving held to support the governor. And later the video showed the council chief of staff leading the hoodlums. So I must tell you that our politicians are the real owners of hoodlums. I remain anonymous from Iguruta. Okay. Anonymous. Thank God, Ability Atwebu on Facebook says, Hardship, Lagos civil servants to work from office 3 days a week. Like play. Other states will join Lagos. There's fire on the mountain. Lights, Ghana says, TUC is always pulling out of issues like this. Why are they like this? Or is there something they're not telling us? And Diwego says, good job, kudos, audibility and clarity, top notch. All right. Thank God. And then Simon Ande says, why TUC pulling out? Are they not facing hardship? Joshua Ubong says, it's not a surprise to me that TUC pulled out of the planned protest. They've been doing it. It's not new. Unionism died in Nigeria long ago since Adams Oshomole left NLC. I doubt if the protest will work. All right, those are some of your messages. I'm still taking calls. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0002, and 0817-923-0007. WhatsApp messages, send them to 0809-030-6416. And then a quick reminder of the big stories. TUC pulls out of NLC's 2-day nationwide protest. The Guardian. Hardship. Lagos civil servants to work from office 3 days a week, says Sanwo-Olu. Channels. And then Senate rejects electricity tariff hike. Probes 2 trillion naira subsidy. The Punch has got that story. And River State Police Command confirmed killing of operative in Eliozu, Obio local government area. Nigeria Info FM News. So which of the big stories are you reacting to? Ida from Okoro, welcome.
Yeah, I agree to tell my sister.
I greet you too. Go on, please.
The incident at Eliozu is not good. Please, we should not mistake each other. Please, I'm begging the hoodlums to please don't attack police people. They are demanding like us. They are trying. Although they are doing their wrongs too, but they are trying for us. Please. And about NLC, my sister, I'll protest for myself. My protest is prayer. I have told you by next week, something good will happen in Nigeria. I have told you. I'm protesting with myself, not protesting anybody, with my prayer and everything. Something good is going to come out. Thank you very much. God bless. I remain Honorable Ida from Nkoro. Mega money.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Ida from Nkoro. Okay, so I'm looking at messages here on WhatsApp. Melody Uniport says the police should come out clean and define the difference between stop and search and stop and collect, because what we see their men do often is stop and collect, as can be seen at Alu, Ozuoba, Choba, etc. The worst aspect is that they usually lose guard and put all their mind in the collection rather than safety. They should remember that the guns that were used at INEC office Aba Road after the election last year and the ones used to disrupt gathering in Eche the other day have not been retrieved. There is still much danger. I'm very sorry to the police officer that lost his life during the gun battle with the men of the underworld. Please, police, during stop and search, try to use modern techniques in order to protect your life. Comrade Okere Henry from Oyibo. And then Confidence in Lebedim from Ozuzu Eche says TUC shunned the 2 days protest. It's too unfortunate for them. All of us are suffering it. You know, sometimes when Nigerians say all of us, we, it makes me laugh, really. I caught myself even kind of like using that yesterday when I said everybody. I was like, no, I don't think so. Because I'm pretty sure that there are people in this country, like many of them, who do not feel the hardship. You might think it's affecting everybody. You will be shocked. It's not affecting everybody. Good afternoon, Madam Constance. The news of armed bandits kidnapping and beheading. Okay, that's not the story I have. We just heard that he was killed. All right? And it was during a stop and search. I mean, all of these things you just mentioned here, where did you get it from? I mean, I was even caught off guard when I read all of that. Apologies, right? I had to read all of that. Well, you say it highlights the vulnerability of law enforcement personnel and raises concerns about the safety of civilians. If trained officers are not safe, it underscores the urgent need for improved security measures to protect all citizens. This tragic incident underscores the importance of addressing security challenges effectively to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone in the community. Chidi Okoro Esquire from Ozuoba. All right, so Chidi, the story we have, the report we have, a confirmation from the River State Police Command is that a police officer lost his life during an attack And it was during a stop and search at the Eliozu flyover in Obio local government area. There was nothing about kidnapping like you mentioned in your comments, all right? And the police also said they are investigating the matter. And part of the story, or part of the report from the police, or statement from the police also, is that one of the hoodlums was also killed while the police retaliated the attack on their personnel or their colleague. TUC pulling out. Constance, believe me, there's a big conspiracy between TUC and NLC. They just want to do it this way to achieve their aims of prayers in their mailboxes. This is still Niger. John Peters. It's still Nigeria. Good day, Constance. Insecurity in Nigeria does not what? Do you mean spare security agencies? Because that spelling there, I don't know what to call it, but I just want to believe you mean it does not spare security agencies. You say killing innocent security men in River State. I charge the security agencies to double their efforts, track down those hoodlums in the state. Or when I take Clinton West. All right, that's your message. Thank you. The attack on the police officer simply means people are driving around River State with guns. Very bad situation. Joke from Asaba. We don't need protest. We need full-blown strike. Festus Osifo of TUC has compromised. We all know that. I don't know that. Nigerians just need to ignore NLC and TUC and organize peaceful protests by themselves. Your name is Franklin. All right, Franklin. And then Lady V says the reason why TUC is backing out of the planned protest is not cogent. They are TUC, yes, but they also buy in the same markets others are buying. Lagos workers to work for 3 days a week. Does this solve the problem? Would they not eat while they are in the house? Why not fix the country and let everyone do their work as they should? All right, thank you very much. And that's the much I can take right now. I've got the news coming up, and afterwards we'll talk about social justice in Nigeria. Stay tuned.
Nigeria.